Hey guys, since we've got a couple of people in here, I might go ahead and turn on my mic. You guys can hear me now. I didn't want to be too loud right off the bat, just in case your volume controls were high or something. I don't want to deafen anybody. Or if anybody prefers the chat be silent, I can turn the volume back off. I just figured I haven't done anything with my mic on in long enough, you know? Oh. I got to set up, I like listening to music while I work, but I've got my AirPods and my iPod, so I can get YouTube hooked up and have an earbud in my ear if I want. For now, we can just quietly work. Okay. You guys ever wish that you had 3 hands? Pretty much always wish that I had 3 hands. And I know that exactly what would happen if I had 3 hands is that I would wish that I had 4, but I swear there's so much stuff that would be so much easier if you just had 1 extra hand. It's kind of nice to have a couple people in here chilling, I was thinking about getting a Discord channel or something set up so that people could chat back, Or, just also, I think that you can have music running in a Discord and it doesn't, flag you for copyright. Because that would be kind of fun, too. But I guess, that would mean that I would have to subject all of you guys to my taste in music. Someday I'm going to get cancer from all these hot glue fumes. It's really bad because, anything particularly fumey, my brain's give me the delicious cancer fumes. And, my higher brain that knows that things give you cancer is this is probably not good for you. But my caveman brain is smells good. Yummy chemical hot glue smell. Make brain very happy. These are the thoughts that I have all the time while I'm working. You guys get to be here for the nonsense. You get to come along on the ride. I need to do that thing where you glue googly eyes to the webcam so that I make eye contact with the webcam and not my laptop, but I'm out of googly eyes. I stuck them all on things. Need to get more self-adhesive googly eyes. I did get a whole new box of longer glue sticks. I just haven't broken it out yet. For those of you who were here last time I streamed, I'm sure you got to hear about me discovering that I was out of glue sticks somehow. And I'm still fairly convinced that somewhere in the chaos in here there is another box, because I don't think I've gone through 2 boxes. And I'm pretty sure I bought 2 boxes last time. But oh well. Who's keeping track, right? Can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, but I can use my hot glue gun left-handed. Makes no sense. It's like astonishingly nice looking outside. It's all sunny and the sky's all blue. It has been so cloudy and so drab over here for so long that it's kind of weird. And like the grass is still kind of green, which makes no sense because we got like 2 feet of snow while I was gone. Why is the grass still green? I don't know. Right. I was just thinking to myself a minute ago that it would be like super fun if I could get one of those things that they give you at the dentist office when they have to like do a filling or whatever that props your jaw open, because I've got this ghetto set up. Just like put some pliers in his mouth. Poor guy. I just had my teeth worked on while I was out of town for Thanksgiving. And my dentist is awesome. He's super cool. He's really good at his job. And like, no judgment. But like, he creeps me out. And it's taken me, I mean, I've been going to the guy for like more than 10 years, I think, at this point. And I've been trying to figure out why he creeps me out, because he's nice. He's not like a mean person. Like, I don't know what it is, but I was thinking about that because my mom told me that he kind of creeps her out too. And like long ago, I decided that he must actually be a vampire, because like no matter what time of day, his stomach is always growling. I've been going to the dude for like more than 10 years, and he hasn't aged at all. Like, he shows no visible signs of aging. And yeah, I don't know. It's any time of day, like he'll be working on your teeth, and you can hear his stomach growling in your ear over the sound of the drill, which is impressive. Um, and like just like the way he like looks at you while you're talking is kind of like scary, but like dude is seriously pro level at dentistry. Like he is the only dentist I've been to ever that can give you shots of Novocaine and you can't feel it. Like, you know how it usually sucks? They like go to give you a shot and it pinches and it hurts and like it's not fun. Him can't feel it. Not at all. And like the problem that I have going to the dentist is that suddenly like I can hold perfectly still for however long, but as soon as he's like, "Okay, we're going to give you the shot of Novocaine. Hold still." I become the most twitchy, non-functional person ever. Like suddenly like me hyper focusing on like stillness turns me into the twitchiest. I'm like, dude's got to think I'm a crackhead or something because I'm over here like. So I mean, he's probably creeped out by me, so it's probably fair. But anyways, that's my dentist story. I got a filling the other day for the first time in like 8 years. I'm sorry, you guys are gonna have to listen to me blow my nose a little bit today. I already took my allergy medication, but for whatever reason, my nose is just going nuts. Well, so on the list of things to do today, we're gonna be making this guy some teeth and a tongue, hopefully. We're just gonna, we gotta get the mouth all lined first. Get some teeth kind of made and have them take a look at them before we glue them in. Well, I'm pretty excited though, because this coyote is supposed to be like kind of sweet and shy, and like I love making fursuits. I was gonna say I love making fursuits that are sweet and shy, but like I also like making other expressions too. Okay. Open your mouth. What do you have in your mouth? I feel like everybody who has a pet knows that feeling of like you hear your pet chewing on something and you're like, I didn't give you anything. What do you have? You have to go over there. And of course, like even though they're making an obscene amount of noise with whatever it is they're chewing on, as soon as they realize that you can hear them, they get all self-conscious and they're like, no, this is my thing. You can't take it away. And they try to keep it from you. Like, I know that this behavior is super common of like dogs, but I don't have a dog. I have a bird. And he still does the same thing. He'll get a hold of something and like even though he's got like crunchy food, it makes noise, it's kibble. He'll get to crunching on something and I'm like, what are you doing? What do you have in your mouth? And he's like, I don't have anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I have to reach in there and grab the little disgusting animal and take it from him. You think taking something from a dog is difficult? Try taking it from a bird. They're pinchy. They will eat you. And they will poop on everything you love. He was chewing on his cuddle bone the other day, and like they're supposed to do that. I'm okay with that. But he doesn't ever use his cuddle bone, so I hear this like clackety crunching grinding noise coming from his cage and fly up off the couch. Barnaby, what do you have in your mouth? And he like looks up at me like, what am I? I'm not doing anything wrong. And it was fun, but you know. What do you have in your mouth? Runs. He runs and hides. That's how I know when he's guilty too. Because if he's not guilty and he knows he's not guilty, then he just stares at me like, what's your problem? But when he's guilty, he runs. I feel like I'm supposed to be building fursuits, but I also don't know how to like entertain you guys other than that. So I'm like just trying to make small talk, but it's one directional small talk. And anybody who knows me, who has known me for any length of time, knows that I am also a nervous talker. So when I get nervous, just like word vomit. So yeah, that'll be fun for both of us. It's no problem at all. In case you're wondering, what is she doing? We gotta line the front part of this nose with fleece. And now's a convenient time to do it because I can just use scraps from doing the mouth. Barnaby. Building fursuits is the entertainment. Well, maybe I should just let building the fursuits be the entertainment before I embarrass myself. It should be good. It's like I don't want to forget that I have my microphone turned on and like fart on camera or something embarrassing. So I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just keep talking. That would it's like the story of like the blonde girl on the bus. The blonde gets on a bus and she really has to fart. And she's sitting there thinking to herself, like, like the music's loud enough. I'll just go ahead. She farts super, super loud. And all the people on the bus turn and look at her, and they're all disgusted. And she's just sitting there, and at first she's like, oh, man, do they hear that? And then she's like, no, the music's too loud. There's no way they could possibly have heard that. And so finally her stop comes up, and she goes to get off the bus and discovers that she had earbuds in the whole time. I vibe with that story. It's one of my favorite jokes for the simple reason that it's about farting. I think you'll all find that my sense of humor is mainly focused around toilet humor. Tell me a joke, it's a good one, I'll laugh. Tell me a joke, it's a good one, and it's about farts, I won't be able to breathe. And not for the reason you think. I think it's funny that, like, as soon as I told the joke about farts, somebody left. Somebody doesn't like potty humor. Either that or they just had stuff going on. Let's go with that. Who doesn't like potty humor? All right. So, front of the nose is lined. I'm also going to go ahead and take this gorgeous opportunity to put some fleece around the eyes, since I've still got plenty of fleece scraps here. I'm not ready to turn off my glue gun yet. Actually, I think my glue gun's going to get to stay on basically all day. Yeah, fart jokes are great, right? They're hilarious. Especially when you're not expecting the person to make a fart joke. Like, if they tell you, dude, I know the best fart joke ever, and they tell me a fart joke, I'm still gonna laugh. But, like, it's even funnier when it comes from someone that you don't expect to make a fart joke. Like, my grandpa used to do that every now and then. He told all sorts of jokes, so, like, it wasn't like you didn't expect jokes to be coming from him. But at the same time, when he whipped out a fart joke, it was so great. He had all sorts of them. Just kind of wiping some of the fur out of the inside of the eye. It doesn't really matter that it's in there for now. Like, we'll vacuum it out later. But because I don't feel like getting my vacuum out right at this particular second, I'm just, like, wiping it out. All right. You guys thought you were here for a fursuit building stream. Little did you know that it was going to turn into Fursuit Building Comedy Club. I heard a joke that might have been yesterday that I thought was really good. It was, how come you don't ever find hippos hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. It just wasn't the answer I was expecting, so I laughed quite a bit at that one. I was expecting some clever shnikes about, like, oh, yeah, like, you don't find them hiding in trees because they weigh 1 billion pounds. No, it's because they're really good at it. All right, so I do a little ring of fleece around the eyes. This is obviously not like the permanent eyelid. It's just because it looks nicer when you get the eyelids and, like, lashes and stuff glued on. And I could wait to do that until later, but right now I already have a whole bunch of, like, pre-cut fleece scraps. So for the sake of being conscientious of how much waste I have, we're just going to go ahead and do those little black rings now. I was going to say save the sea turtles, but I don't think they're choking on fleece. Speaking of save the sea turtles, I don't know if anybody in here has to deal with this, but, like, I don't use straws, like, hardly ever at restaurants anymore. And it's not because I'm like, oh, like, my single person straw usage is killing the planet. But it's more just like, people don't look at you like you're Satan if you don't use a straw. But every time I go out with like family, they always look at me like I'm an idiot. They're like, "Oh my God, you know that like your single drinking straw is not killing the sea turtles, right?" I'm like, "Probably not. You have no idea how many margaritas I drink though. So it could be me." Ouch, I totally just stuck my thumb in that. Honestly, I will still get a straw sometimes. I'm not perfect. If the margarita is too big to pick up, I'm gonna get a straw. And I love it when I get a margarita that's too big to pick up. It's my favorite. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do after we've got these, I say we, the next thing I'm gonna do after I've got this eye all lined out is the lining inside the mouth gets sewn into the balaclava inside the mouth. See, like, okay, it's not perfect, right? But it already looks more like a fursuit than the other side, doesn't it? It's the part where, like, when I start sending pictures to my clients, they're, like, a little bit less afraid. They're like, "Ah, I've seen this person's work before. I know she's not an idiot, but now I have doubts." And you know how I know they have doubts? Tell me. "Uh, you're still gonna, like, give him eyelids and eyelashes, right?" "No, bruh. Even though I've done that on, like, every fursuit ever, I'm not gonna do it on yours just because you asked." Kidding. Just to make that very clear. I'm not good at sarcasm, so well, and I understand too, because honestly, if it was me and I was paying, like, fursuit prices, for, like, a commission, I would probably be, like, wanting to check on that as well, just to make sure, like, you're spending several $1,000s on an item, you wanna make sure it turns out right. So I tease, but I also understand. Okay. So when you go to stream something, or I think it's even if you just upload a video on YouTube now, you have to it'll ask you if your content is for children. And like this is a new feature to me because I've never had to answer that before. And what the heck am I supposed to tell them? Because on one hand, like I'm making fuzzy animal costumes, and on the other hand, like it's not for children. They could never afford one of these. So it's like, well, I mean, it's not for children, but it's not specifically for children. So I'm like, well, I don't want my channel getting labeled as like children's content. So I said it's not for children. And then it's like, oh, do you want to put an age restriction on your stream? I'm like, not no, because then if I accidentally cuss, maybe you hopefully won't get in trouble for it. But I also don't want any of my younger audience to feel like they're unwelcome. So there's no winning. There we go. That's pretty cute. They're not perfectly even, but it won't matter when the eyelids are over them. Looking pretty cute. He's a gummy guy because he doesn't have any teeth yet. I really also, like, anybody who follows me will know this, but I love making coyotes. This guy is a coyote. And as much as I love making coyotes, their ears get in the way so much. Like, I got to make a lovebird this year. I think that was this year. Might have been last year, I don't remember. But I got to make a lovebird at one point, and it didn't have any ears. And I was like, this is great, because there's no ears getting in my way. Couldn't believe it. Not a single ear in sight. So I think I already said this, but what I'm doing right now is I'm getting ready to sew in the lining at the back of the mouth to the balaclava so that there's just a nice, like, no flaps, basically. Nice clean edge. Ah, that does explain it. See, Dadis knows what's going on with the childrenness. I don't know any of these things. I'm sure that I got an email at some point too, being like, "Oh, her, is your content for children?" And I didn't read it because I don't like it. I don't like reading my emails when I don't have to. From places like YouTube and other sites. Okay. This is the part where I ruin my manicure. Sewing the lining around the mouth is always kind of a chore because there's hot glue on some of the balaclava. So you have to try to sew through the hot glue. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's not easy. Something I thought about the other day was like, you know, I know that different fursuit builders will like challenge themselves in different ways, and I saw, I think it was Sharp 19 did a fursuit live stream where she made like an entire head and like a tail or something in like 24 hours or something like that. It was crazy. And I always think about like, oh man, how cool would that be if I made a fursuit with like just completely on stream or something like that. And they'll talk about doing con panel challenges or something where they'll have like, oh, like make a fursuit out of like toilet paper or something. And I always think to myself, like, that would be fun, except it would be so stressful because I don't think that I could like cut corners at this point. Like, I don't think that I could make a fursuit out of toilet paper just because I'd be like, but it'll fall apart when somebody sneezes on it, you know? Like, make a fursuit head in 24 hours on stream sounds kind of fun, except if I work for longer than 6 hours, I get so sleepy. Be like, oh yeah, watch Uru build fursuit head for 6 hours and then watch her sleep for the next like 18. That's the quality that we pay for. This is the content the people want. Fursuit builders sleeping on camera. You know? Somebody out there probably would love that, actually. I found out a while back that, like, you could just, like, find videos and videos, like, tons of them, of people just, like, eating stuff on camera. Not even, like, particularly weird food, like, you can just see people eating. And I'm like, "Oh my god, like, what is the point of just, like, eating on camera?" And then I thought about it, and it's like, well, what a cool world that we live in where somebody can just eat on camera and get paid for it. Like, go you. I don't think that I would wanna eat on camera, but if somebody was gonna pay me for it, I would consider it. Like, just pay to watch somebody eat for some reason. I don't know. I just think that it's a really cool world we live in where people who wanna watch other people eat have a market for that now. Yeah, that's fair. But, like, eating on camera or having somebody eat on camera while you're eating would make you feel less lonely? Yeah, I guess I could see that. I personally like eating while I watch TV, and then I don't have to think about being lonely because 'cause I'm just watching TV. But, everybody's got something different. I think in Japan, probably in Japan, there's, like, restaurants where if you go in by yourself, but you don't wanna eat alone, they have, like, a big teddy bear that they'll put at your table, so you can eat with the teddy bear as company. And, well, like, if I went into a restaurant and saw someone eating with a teddy bear, I wouldn't think twice. I'd be like, "Wow, that's really cute. That's adorable." But if I went into a restaurant and, like, had to tell someone, like, "I'm eating all alone. Can you give me a teddy bear?" Like, I'd be embarrassed for me. So while I think it's cute that they've got something like that, I'm a little sad that, like, I don't think I could ever do that. It's like, I mean, but, like, how cute is that? Like, you just got, like, a teddy bear set up so that somebody can eat and not be alone. Super cute. I think that's what some people do with their fursuits too. Like, I feel like I've heard of that where, like, they'll just, like, set their fursuit up and eat, like, hang out with it. That's cute. It's like a big patch of glue here. Rather than ruin my hands, I can just use pliers. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. That works too. But yeah, I don't know. I think people are awesome. Some of them. The cute little quirky things we do. I feel like aliens would love us for that reason. They're like, dude, this is adorable behavior. Like, because if you think about any other species doing the same thing, like, oh, like this koala doesn't like to eat by itself, so it hangs out with a stuffed animal while it eats so that it feels more comfortable. How cute would that be? People are cute. They do weird, cute things. I would probably wake up in the middle of like my fursuit building stream that I had fallen asleep during and discover that I'd like farted on camera like 6 times and people were laughing at me. And then I'd be embarrassed and then I would have to move and change my name. So the more you know. I love it. There was this thing going around on Twitter a while back is where I saw it. That it was like this app that records your like the noises going on in your room while you're sleeping, and I think its original purpose is to like see if you're snoring or like check to see how many times you woke up during the night. But the reason it got like viral on Twitter was that it had caught this dude's like morning farts right before he woke up. And he's like, oh my God, like I didn't know that this was something that I did while I was sleeping. Like now I feel weird about every sleepover I've ever had in my entire life. I'm like, that would be me. That would be me. Find out at the ripe age of 26 that you have, that every day before you wake up at like 6:45 a.m. you fart. Every day, rain or shine, sleepover, nothing. You don't get a break from that. I've been rotating this fursuit head like a rotisserie chicken, but we're almost done lining the inside of his mouth. And that'll look so nice and it'll feel so nice. It'll be good. I keep trying to scrape the hot glue off my needle so it will go through the fabric faster in case anybody was wondering what that's about. You get to see all the stupid faces I make while I'm working again. You can tell when she's really focused because it's the only time she actually shuts up. Okay. Just tie that one off. There we go. It's a little better. Oh. Just got to notice that my internet's unstable, so if it drops, I apologize. Been kind of having some trouble with it lately. Ow. Okay. I just grabbed my fur brush and got one of the needles up underneath my fingernail. It's rough, bruh. It wasn't even fun. I'll be okay. Just want to make sure that I'm not getting any like blood on this fursuit head. You can't, because my nails are painted red, so like you can't tell that it's bleeding, but we don't get bodily fluids on our fursuit heads if we can help it. I guess teeth and a tongue are going to be next for this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and put him back on the head dummy. Something is stuck. Okay. There is so much fur in the air in here, you don't even know. So when my camera inevitably unfocuses and refocuses, it's because there's fur all over the place in here. It's literally just like floating around in the air. Okay, I'm gonna do this so you can actually kind of see his face. I'm gonna take a picture and let my client know what I'm up to. Actually, you know what? I might wait until I've got a tongue made so that he can see, like, oh, like this is what it looks like with a tongue in it. And I'll make some teeth. You know, I just feel like that's a good idea. Alright, so I'm gonna, what am I gonna do with my glue gun? I don't want to just leave it. I'll put it down here. And I'm gonna grab some white fleece and start making some teeth. He's supposed to be shy, so he's not going to have as many teeth as some of the other fursuits that I've made. He'll probably just have a few. Cool. Teeth and tongue ready to get sewn. It's totally caught on everything over here. What's going on? Let go of that. It's just my glue gun. All right, so the sewing machine is going to be kind of loud. So if you don't want your ears to bleed, now might be a good time to turn your volume down. I don't know if you've got it turned up super high in the first place, but it's going to make a little noise, and I wanted to give you some notice in advance. Here we go. We're going to sew some stuff. Yeah, no worries. Hopefully gave you guys long enough. I just wouldn't want it to be a surprise. Just gonna do a bit of sewing here. You can hear Barnaby screaming in the background. That's his job. He screams. He's also a recreational screamer. He's got a tongue. Okay. Oops, it's not the right stitch. If anybody wants to know what music I currently have going on in my earbud, I'm listening to the lo-fi hip-hop channel that has the raccoon that's studying, because that one's my favorite. The weirdest thing happened to me when I went to Joann's yesterday. I had music playing on YouTube on like a playlist that I have, and I was listening to it with earbuds while I was out because it's like having your own theme music going. And at one point I walk into Joann's and I'm like looking around for stuff, and I decide that the music playing in my ear means that I can't focus, which, you know, like it goes that way sometimes. So I take my earbuds off, and I kid you not, the same song that I was just listening to on my iPod or on my phone was playing on the radio, like right as I took my earbuds off. So I took my earbuds off and I was like, what? Oh my God, what are the odds of that? Like, it was such a moment that I had to tell the person standing next to me. I was like, oh my God, like seriously, like what are the chances that that would happen? It's got a playlist with like 120 songs on it on shuffle, and this is the one that came on, and it came on the radio at the same time. It's just wild. I made these teeth really skinny. Come on. There's like fur floating all around in the air in here. I don't think that you guys can see that. I don't think that my camera picks it up when it's that small, but it's just like somebody asked me the other day if I use a respirator, and I'm like, a respirator? Ha! No. When you get the fur in your mouth and your lungs, you handle it. Respirator. What is that? That would be safety. We like danger here at Fursonalities Studios. We like to live dangerously. Or, I mean, for the record, a respirator would probably be a good idea. I don't use one because I'm a rebel. Geez, Barnaby, what the heck? I don't know how much of him you can hear, but he's just going full Crankosaurus. Just trying to turn this tooth that I sewed right side out. It does not want to cooperate. We'll get it though in the end. If you don't slowly go mad from having a bird chirping at you all day. I'd like to think that that's kind of why I am the way I am. Just have like a small feathery animal screaming at me all the time. Welcome to motherhood. Make no mistake, I am his mother. I'm just not very good at it. So I don't have any real kids. Just a bird. I should do that next time one of my relatives is like, when are you gonna have kids? Or like, why don't you have any kids already? I'll just be like, bold of you to assume that I can keep another living being alive. They would die. That's why I don't have any. What happened here? I don't know. I'm just gonna go over that. Looks like it skipped a stitch. Oh my god, he's crazy. I don't know why he's screaming, because he's got food and water and millet, and I just gave him a new toy. So the only thing that I can think of is that he's not used to the new toy yet, and that he's screaming because he's scared of it. That's the only thing. In the evenings sometimes he screams because my upstairs neighbor is a little noisy in the evenings. Not nearly as bad as my old neighbors, but noise nonetheless. What are you gonna do, right? Also, like, suddenly I can hear a train outside. And this is weird, but like I don't know where the closest train tracks are. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a train outside before. It's definitely coming from outside and not my earbuds, because I heard it earlier before I was listening to music. No idea. Didn't even know there was a train around here. So yeah, if any of you were thinking about getting a bird, that's what it's like to be a bird owner. Just scream at you all day. Like having a bad boyfriend. Except he doesn't even speak English. He's just screaming. Starts at sunup and it continues until I cover him up at bedtime. Sometimes he does actually like chirp and not so much of a scream, so that's nice. All right, sewing again. My sewing machine does not appreciate me making it sew these teeny tiny pieces. Something smaller than a penny? How dare you! But there's also no way I'm hand sewing these, so. Cool. Now we've got some teeth. I just made teeth for the bottom jaw because generally if you're not going for like a little bit more of an aggressive expression, you just want to have the bottom ones. I will definitely ask this guy if he wants like any other teeth to go along with it, but I'm thinking he probably won't. Okay. goes back over here. All right, now let's see. Just kind of pin those in place. I didn't even get the tooth in that mirror. There we go. Can't believe that my son is so loud. You'd think that he had never received food or water or attention in his entire life by the way he's carrying on. Meanwhile, he's got like $300 worth of toys in his cage. He's just ungrateful. Okay, I just mostly bent that pin, but yeah, I think it'll give him an idea. Let's try that. I like that better. I don't know if you can see the pins like poking out of the bottom here. He's got a dangerous smile right now. All right, let's get some pictures of this bad boy and send them off to the owner. Cool. That might be it for the stream for now. I know it's only been an hour and a half, but I gotta wait to hear back from him before I can kind of move on other stuff. And it's almost 1:15 and I haven't had any lunch yet, so I think I'm gonna go have a lunch break and then get back to it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream anymore today just because I feel like sitting here listening to my bird scream at you is probably not the most entertaining thing, but if you're thinking that you might continue to watch if I stream some more, totally let me know in the chat and I'll take that into consideration. I appreciate you guys watching for now and just kind of keeping me company while I work. I hope that there will be more of the exciting side of this for you guys to watch next time, but for now, see you later. Oh, thank you.